Rainbow Six, Ubisoft issues, and what do we think about The Last of Us show? Extra, hear all about it.
Hey guys, welcome to the podcast where, well, we just, we're a little bit, preoccupied with stuff and, can't ever, seem to make a document or record on time or anything.
Ain't no rest for the wicked.
No, definitely not. I'm the Dean of Games, the Dean Slater on all platforms, Twitch, socials, all of that. And joining me is twitch.tv/LMJ, the Hitman Landen.
Ooh, hello. That was us, the wicked. There is what I was referring to. We are the wicked, and there's no rest for us because we're constantly running into problems. So we must be the wicked, right?
Yep.
Yeah, something like that.
For sure. Yeah, I'm working on a little something, and in order to work on the little something, I've gone through about 50 hours of my streaming content. I still have another 50-ish hours to go, and then I've got to go through some of my YouTube content as well.
Okay.
So yeah,
it sounds like a lot to go through.
It is a lot to go through, and I have until the first week of February, so I'm trying to rush through it. Anyway, how you been? I know you've been having car issues. Are all those solved?
Oh, all kinds of issues. Partially, half of them. I mean, my car issues aren't solved, but girlfriend's car issues are solved. So that's part of the problems are taken care of. That's half the problems, at least.
Yeah,
my car problems are not necessarily, but it's just more of an impending doom. So it's not, the doom is not here. It's just waiting on the doom to happen.
Yeah. Well, at least now you have options. And, you're not terribly far away from tax season, so...
Yeah, that's the plan.
That's going to be the plan for me, too, is to get a new car with taxes, but with the tax refund. But, man, last year we filed in March, and we didn't get our refund until, September. So I hope that doesn't happen again this year. I hope they get it to us a little bit sooner than that. But yeah, no, that's my plan too. Is new cars. Woo!
Yay!
Because I don't even know how old my engine is. I know how old my car is, but the engine's at least 3 years older than the car. So that's not super encouraging. But enough about cars. This is Extra, your weekly gaming news podcast covering the news leading up to Sunday, January 22nd, 2022. And if you like us, you can go to patreon.com/thebriefingroom. Let's get to some news. So we will definitely be flying by the seat of our pants here. As I said, I did not make a doc because I was literally busy working on this project I mentioned, and my wife comes up to me and goes, so are you guys recording today? I go, shit, it is recording day. So yeah, anyway.
Life can be that way, man. It just hits you out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, for sure. Third shift doesn't help either because I'm working in 2 different days, essentially. And so it can throw your week all out of whack. So let's see. Let's go with the big news right now. The one news that literally just dropped. Oh, Microsoft layoffs are confirmed to affect Bethesda and Xbox. There have been 10,000 layoffs among Microsoft, and 343 is also affected.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Really? That's crazy. They have
Yeah.
enough money to spend 70 bill, but not enough to keep the employees.
Yeah, no, I thought the exact same thing when I saw the story. Like,
Interesting.
so you've tried buying company for 69
Multiple
million.
companies.
Yeah,
69. Well, you're ready to
yeah,
spend 69 million on company, and you already spent was it 8 bill on Bethesda? 12
yeah,
bill or 12
and
bill? I
then
think 12 or 13 bill maybe.
yeah,
Hmm.
and then you're fighting all these legal battles and everything, and I'm sure those lawyers aren't cheap.
Nope.
And and yeah, and yet you're like 10,000 people. Let's pack up your bags.
I have
Oh,
multiple conspiracy theories about this now. Like as it goes on and more companies keep getting involved, I have a lot of theories of what's really going on, and I don't think it is just Sony. I think all these other companies helping or might be in cahoots with Sony or have something up their sleeve to do, get something for themselves out of it.
yeah. In addition to these layoffs, their HoloLens business and some engineering divisions are also part of the cuts. I forgot about HoloLens. I'll be
Me too,
honest.
actually. Yeah, I did. I definitely did.
Um, 343 reports are that 343 suffered significant number of layoffs. Um, which was heaviest towards individuals working on the single player side of the studio, which sucks because the single player was the best part of uh the Halo Infinite.
Yeah.
And then let's see. Kotaku also confirmed that a number of developers at the Coalition are being laid off, which sucks because
What?
yeah, number of it doesn't say it's a significant, but yeah, there's some Coalition people laid off. I know that makes you sad because your Gears of War
They're
6.
still making. They've already showed concept art and everything of the new graphics engine they're using for Gears of War.
Yeah.
That's scary. Oh God, they're not even releasing games, and they're hearing about layoffs, bro. This is sad. This is so sad to hear. This is just all these games are still happening. I'm not worried about the game. They're just worried that like that's just a bad move. Like I know companies do this all the time, but this looks so bad. This looks so bad.
Oh yeah. Guess what? A PR manager at Bethesda wrote, "Well, it happened today. I was laid off from Bethesda Softworks as part of the layoffs. So they're even getting rid of PR, which is
Wow.
good PR." Uh, but yeah, anyway, this story, by the way, comes from Andy Robinson at VGC. I need to get better when I'm doing these on the fly, winging it to quote the people. But yeah, no. Oh, I saw this today and I was like, Microsoft, what a bad look.
Man.
I didn't even know that, about the coalition.
Man.
That's really upsetting. Like,
Will this pay off in the long run? Will this pay off all this junk, all this hoopla?
one of these days the dominoes will fall.
The domino. These are the wrong set of dominoes.
Oh man.
Man, that's nuts.
Yeah, no, it's not good. Yeah, I can't I listen, I know Microsoft, it's been no secret that Microsoft has essentially uh shut down for their battle with the FTC, and they're now battling the European Union and all of this stuff. It's no
Talks of
secret.
Amazon and Apple popping in too.
Yeah, it's no secret that they basically shut down business essentially just to focus on the legal battles that are happening on all fronts for the acquisition. But man, to then lay off 10,000 people, and I will say, granted, that's 10,000 is a lot, but it's nowhere near like the amount of people they have at their company.
No.
So it's not like it's
Just a
significant,
fraction for sure.
but it is like 10,000. That's 10,000 lives that are just suddenly uprooted.
Ugh.
And like, we can talk about the business side all we want, and we probably will. But before we do that, I just want to say, that 10,000 number, those are real people. Like, that's not just
No, yeah, they're not just numbers. Yeah, those are homes, and Microsoft hired them expecting, and went to this job expecting a career job. These are career jobs. These are, you go to college for years and years and years. You go into debt and for years and years and years to work at these places, and you finally work there for it to be your end all job, and then this happens, and you're working for one of a huge company that shouldn't be going through any of these things.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, just positive vibes to those 10,000 people, and
Yep.
best of luck, in every pursuit you have. It just sucks, but getting back to the business side, it's like you couldn't have waited till like a little bit later. Like, you're already dealing with enough PR. Like, your PR team's already way overworked with all this acquisition stuff going on. Why would you then add to it by laying off? Like, there's no way you couldn't afford just to keep them for a little bit longer.
All right.
Because all indications are, regardless, this deal's going to go through. So why not just keep them and then look at making cuts later after, I don't know. It just sucks.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. What I do see happening in the future, because I think this whole lawsuit and everything should end around August. I think August or September. It may get extended depending on how many other companies want to get involved. Because, like I said, there's rumors of Amazon and Apple and everybody wanting to get in on this, right? They now that the streaming services for video games is kind of starting to take off, it's new territory. So all these other companies want to make sure that Xbox doesn't swoop in, become the monopoly of this new service that all these other companies have potential in. So all these other companies are worried about this, right? What I think is in the long run is going to happen. This is where my what do you call it, the tinfoil hat comes on, but me thinking business wise, let's say this long lawsuit goes down the road and it goes to the end, and they deem it where, hey, you have, this will be a monopoly if you take all of this. So because of that, we're going to give Microsoft, and this happens in a lot of lawsuits, but we're going to give Microsoft first dibs at hand picking certain things that they can have from the acquisition. Instead of acquiring them, they'll just be able to pick certain assets. They'll get first dibs, but they won't be able to take all of it because that would be a monopoly. So they'd say, hey, you're allowed to take this many amount, thirds, shares, whatever. Then after they do that, it'll allow other companies to go in and bid on the rest of the properties. That's what I believe will happen. I don't think I think if somehow Xbox doesn't end up with Activision, I think they end up with the mobile version of it, and I think they still end up with Call of Duty, and they'll end up selling a whole bunch of other assets off, or Activision itself will be sold off to other assets to other companies. We'll see, but that's what I think.
Yeah, everyone's talking about Call of Duty, which is fair because Call of Duty is like
it's for them. They're doing this for the mobile. That's the big thing here. They want the mobile. That's the money.
They want King. That's what they want.
Yes, King is the king of mobile.
Yeah. So that's yeah, they definitely are going for the mobile. and everything else is just icing on the cake. So yeah, if that were to happen, they absolutely would take the mobile side.
I mean, I
And
also believe that. Sorry, my bad. I also
good.
believe that they're doing this because of like Sony contending this and all these other companies contending this. This is allowing Microsoft can't show the court because they're in court right now. And they're trying to prove that they don't have monopoly. So Xbox can't come out and say, "Here's all these huge haymaker AAA exclusive titles that we've been telling you about for the last 5 years." They do that, then
Mhm.
Sony will be like, "Hey, look at all these titles they just announced in court." Like they're waiting on that to happen. So Xbox isn't saying anything. And now I don't know if you saw, but on Steam, Starfield's date was taken. 2023 date was taken off of Steam. So now there's rumors that there might just try to push Starfield a little bit further down the line because of all these. Like it might be a November, December release to prevent from the lawsuit stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, who knows what we get this year? Who knows how much that's messing up and how much Xbox is going through the mud just trying to go through this lawsuit to acquire Activision. I think it's crazy. So it's I hopefully this isn't a common thing across a whole bunch of studios. Like the next time Sony says, "Oh, we acquired this studio, we acquired Ubisoft," and the Xbox is like, "Oh, monopoly, lawsuit for 3 years." Like I hope that's not common. I really do. Like I hope this
Yeah.
doesn't continually keep on happening.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, something like that.
So we're not going to discuss the story, but scrolling through, I saw a story that is something I've never seen before. A demo has been updated.
A demo?
Yeah, Forspoken's demo has been updated.
Okay.
I don't know how or why you would update a demo, but interesting. No, the next thing we're going to talk about, we were talking about how Microsoft wants to do mobile. Well, Sackboy is the next PlayStation series coming to mobile. This is from Stolian at VGC. Ultimate Sackboy, a new free-to-play running game, which I'm assuming means it's going to be like the, Temple Run and stuff, will be released globally on Android and iOS in February.
Okay.
It's now available for pre-registration on the Google Play Store. Oh, actually, looking at the trailer, that's exactly what it is. It's like Temple Run.
But with Sackboy, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, but with Sackboy. In it, Sackboy has to take on the Ultimate Games, which is the most prestigious obstacle course tournament in Craft World. They're really building up this lore for just a stupid, cute little game. Players will battle familiar enemies, screwing through crazy obstacles, hop, skip, and jump, and weave their way on top of the Ultimate Games. Players will be able to take rivals on in head-to-head competitions, including daily duels, to win gold and other prizes. There will be thousands of clothing combinations to unlock and upgrade, with a growing catalog of clothing options, obviously to be added later. So yeah. How do you feel about a Sackboy running game?
I mean, I heard good things about their launch game of Sackboy's Big Adventure. That's what it was for PS5. I don't think it sold very well, but it was also a launch game, and then mostly to appeal, and it wasn't a major titled Sackboy game as well. So I do think that it's good as long as it's a good mobile game. I don't know like what's considered a good mobile game, but as long as it's a good mobile game, this is good notoriety. Get Sackboy out there. I think Sackboy is one of their bigger, faces of PlayStation. Maybe more around the PS3 era than the PS4 era, but he's always been around. Yeah. And I think there's something there. Like as long as they can keep pushing them out more and more for more people to catch the eye of Sackboy and know that that's a PlayStation thing. So I think it has potential and a future. Just even if it is bad, it's just good to start somewhere. I mean, Sony's released a mobile game before, right? It's not too entirely.
Think so. And they've talked about how, in addition to live services, they've talked about how they wanted to get into mobile because, again, mobile is massive.
Yep.
Just about all of the Asian countries play mobile more than consoles. Even in Japan, the console market has been slowly deteriorating over the last, generation or two because of the proliferation of mobile and mobile games.
Hmm.
So we're definitely seeing a trend going towards mobile, and that's why, again, we brought it up before. That's why Microsoft wants King. That's why Sony's,
Exactly.
licensing out their properties to make mobile. Um, it is a big deal, and even outside of, even inside the U.S., gamers like to, ew, it's on mobile, but the general public here in America, they play mobile. They play mobile games just in
Yes, they
general.
do. Yeah, and it's all over the world too. So like, it's
Yeah, it's
popular everywhere.
yeah. That's where the money is, and that's where the companies are going to start going. Whether they go there entirely, I don't think so, but I necessarily wouldn't put it past companies to slowly just move everything to a phone.
Yeah, for
If
sure.
you want, and if you want the big like quadruple A, I could see it being like PC, or you have your phone, because that's just the way things have been going. Hell, my phone runs games better than my Xbox One, like, anymore.
Plus, with the future of streaming, phones can do
Mhm.
some of the processing power in the future while the stream does the rest.
Yeah, so
I mean, we're
uh
basically playing PS3 360 games on our phone right now.
yeah. So and yeah, mobile's the way to go. And so it's exciting seeing Sony, even though they're not making the game directly, it's exciting seeing them license the game out to people that know how to make the game. Um,
Yeah.
and that also just goes to show that, Sony's willing to, admit where their weaknesses is, and that's like, well, we can't develop it because we don't have any studios used to it. Let's just give our IP to somebody to make in this space. Um, a lot of companies are not willing to share their IP like that.
No, they're not.
But speaking of sharing IP, the John Wick director
I
signs
heard.
up for a Rainbow Six movie starring Michael B. Jordan. The film is a sequel to last year's Without Remorse.
I read the header to that and was like, oh, and then I read more details about how it's a sequel to that movie that wasn't good, and I was like, I don't know how I feel.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's Rainbow Six, though, right?
It just says Rainbow Six. Like, I know, I almost feel like they're like, look at the title, the name we use. Like, oh, somewhat Rainbow Six, right? You were familiar with that. Michael B. Jordan's great. The title's great. The John Wick part's great. It's just they have a history of mediocre TV, mediocre movies, and even mediocre like YouTube shorts for video games they've done. Like, they've always been so whatever. Jack Ryan's okay, I guess, but
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I was watching Jack Ryan with my wife. We were watching it together, and there was an essay scene in there, and my wife, having been a victim of essay, was like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm I don't know that I want to watch this." And I was like, "Okay, so I'll just continue without you." And she's like, "You're gonna watch something without me?" So I never finished, but I wanted to. John Krasinski was such a great Jack Ryan.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, he helped bring that. But if it wasn't him in there, I don't know how I would feel about that show.
yeah, but yeah, we're just gonna have to see. I agree. I was like, I saw the headline, I clicked on it, and then I was like, sequel to Without Remorse. Oh yeah, that's something that came out. So that was definitely my reaction to is, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But it's exciting nonetheless. Uh, we'll just have to hope that they learn their lesson from the previous one and they put a little bit more budget into it. But
Yeah, I sure hope so.
I guess I can combine these two stories. Oh boy. You ready for shitty companies?
Oh.
Didn't want to have two shitty company stories, but this is kind of a big one. These two stories come from Tom Ivan at VGC. Union calls on Ubisoft Paris workers to strike after worrying CEO's comments. This was after Ubisoft delayed Skull and Bones and canceled several unannounced games. And talked about how their software sales last year were disappointing, even though they put out like 2 games. And Yves Gamon then said that the ball is in their court, the developers' court, to turn the company around. And so that's where the union is calling for a strike, is because of all that. And then that was yesterday. Today, Yves Gamon said that he apologizes for his "the ball is in your court" comment. Let's see if I can find the exact quote from him. So all right, so here's part of the statement from that people were upset about. "The ball is now in your court. For years it has been in your court, so why did you mishandle the ball so badly that this is the Ubisoft's management. So why did you mishandle the ball so badly that we the workers have to fix it for you?" Uh um I don't see an exact quote from him, but yeah, no, he went on to apologize.
Well, doesn't stop you from being a POS.
No. Oh, okay, here we go. Oh my god, this apology. It's one of those apologies.
Oh.
I heard your feedback, and I'm sorry that this was perceived that way. Which is essentially saying, I'm sorry that you took it so badly.
That's what that means.
When saying the ball is in your court to deliver the lineup on time and the expected quality, I wanted to convey the idea that more than ever, I need your talent and energy to make it happen. There's a collective journey that starts, of course, with myself and the leadership team, and to create the conditions for all of us to succeed together. Sorry you perceived it that way. Oh my
God. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's not the right way. That's not the right way to do that. And they make more than enough money to find out the person who can, say it the right way for them, and they still don't. That's sad.
Yeah, that is textbook emotional manipulation.
Yeah.
Like, that is manipulative language there. Yves Gamon, fuck you. Yeah, no, it was a shitty situation in general to be saying, it was one of those things where the story came out between recordings, so we didn't obviously report it. But oh my god, I can't believe that was his apology. Oh my I'm sorry, I'm still going through this.
Oh no, you're good, man. Yeah, it's just another one of those.
Having been emotionally manipulated before, like I'm having PTSD from this too, and it's not fun. Oh my god. Uh, yeah, it's weird, right? Because Ubisoft, was fighting a hostile takeover several years ago. I don't know if you remember that. They fought a hostile takeover several years ago, and part of them fighting it was they raised their stock prices by announcing a bunch of games that gamers were wanting, and like the positive reception caused their stocks to skyrocket,
Hmm.
which prevented the aggressive buyout because now stocks were worth more. But then they never delivered on most of those games. Again, uh, how long has Skull and Bones and Beyond Good and Evil 2 been in development now? Like,
Oh
because
my
they were in
god.
development
15,
long
15
before.
years for Beyond Good and Evil
Yeah,
2. 15
they
years.
they were in development long before, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, we have this game. Let's just go ahead and re-announce it, and then we'll start working on it." And it's still being worked on. They hired a writer last year.
Yeah, GTA or not GTA. The for boat game Skull and Bones. Yeah, so forgettable. Skull and
Yeah,
Bones is 10 years, so like they got quite a bit on their backlog here. It just doesn't look good.
but yeah, so now their stocks are dropping because they barely put out any games, and the games they put out didn't financially do what they wanted it to do. So now their stocks are plummeting again. So now they risk the chance of being aggressively bought out again. And and so now they're like, we gotta start putting out games and start increasing our stock prices again. And so that was his initial comments were him panicking essentially, because he wants the company to stay in his family because company stays in his family, he still makes money. Uh, but but now he hasn't. What do they have coming out this year?
Oh.
I don't even know what they have coming out this
Let's.
year.
I know that
Did,
they're working on Splinter Cell, so they could potentially, at E3-ish area, be like, hey, October, we've got Splinter Cell, or February-ish area, we'll have Splinter Cell, or at least be
I know
this
they have.
fiscal year.
Yeah, I know they have a
Mm,
couple
I
Assassin's
might.
Creed projects, but I don't know when those are coming out.
Well, Mirage is this year, and then they have the Hex one that's a bit sooner than the other one, the Japanese one. That's called
Yeah,
like Red Dawn or something. I can't remember the name of that one. And then, yeah, but all the games they have announced, other than Mirage this year, they don't have anything really announced big that's anytime soon. Prince of Persia is not really big, and it has no release date, and we don't even know if that's actually going to release or not.
yeah, huh?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
don't got
it's
much going for them. Not good, at least.
no, no,
Although
it
I am
seems
excited
good.
for that Assassin's Creed game.
Oh yeah, no, and it's no offense to the newer games. I'm sure they're good. I've heard great things about them. I just was not as interested in them as original Assassin's Creed. Like that's what I liked, and
Yeah, for
so
sure.
for them to do like go back to their roots a little bit.
Hopefully.
Um,
There's
I mean,
still the story and plot is still pretty lost. Like,
yeah.
still have a lot of recovering to do as far as
Oh
plot of
yeah,
the
for
whole
sure.
world of Assassin's Creed.
Oh yeah, yeah. I honestly, this may be controversial opinion. I have no idea. I think that getting rid of Desmond in Assassin's Creed 3 was one of the worst things they ever did.
Well, he somewhat comes back at the end of, spoilers. Sorry, my
Yeah,
bad. He
you're
somewhat
good.
is hinted towards. It doesn't actually do it, but it hints towards Desmond being there at the end of Vikings. Assassin's Creed. That one's called Valhalla. Yeah, Valhalla.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they'll continue to try to go down that road, but one can hope. So, and then
Yeah.
they actually technically killed off the newest main character as well. So, like, you know how Desmond died, she's dead too technically. So now they got nobody again. So I don't know where they're gonna go. I don't know where they're gonna go.
I liked what was it, Black Flag, but it was just weird being this nobody. You know,
it doesn't. Yeah, it was so strange that he didn't even. It was one of the coolest characters they ever made, and he doesn't even care about the creed at all. Literally does not care about the creed at all.
Yeah,
just wearing the outfit. That's all.
Yeah. So I think for the last story, we're going to talk about The Last of Us, which I unfortunately did not see, but I'm sure you saw. Did you see it?
What is it?
The episode that came out of The Last of Us.
Oh yeah, I watched it. It's phenomenal. I watch it. I know they air on Sundays. I'm gonna watch them on Mondays, but it was phenomenal. Very emotional, so emotional. Even though I know most of the story and everything, it's so cool to see more of it. More backstory given through certain characters and them do such a good job at representing the video game. Like, I don't know, really, really good job at representing the game.
Yeah, I'm planning on watching it with my wife, but yeah, it was one of those things where it came out on our wedding anniversary. I was like, probably not the best thing to watch on our wedding anniversary. A little bit of a downer there. But yeah, I was busy with this project I've been working on, so I did not watch it at all this week. But I'm gonna try to watch it maybe Friday or Saturday, and have something more to say next week. So.
Ooh. Yeah, it's good though. I'd strongly suggest it, even if you haven't played the game. It's still good. Like, it'll be cool to hear somebody's perspective who ends up watching the whole show without playing the game, and then see what they think of it. Or somebody who watches the show then plays the game, and be like, oh, these things, and connections.
See, I don't think my wife knows anything about Last of Us because, again, I've been out of the PlayStation ecosystem, and she plays games, but she's not, doesn't play games a lot, and so she kind of just missed out on it. So yeah, watching it with her, I can give you a perspective of someone who's never watched or never played the game before.
Right.
I can have her write down her thoughts or whatever, and I can read them on the podcast.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
So anyway, that's it for us, guys.
All right.
If you liked, or even if you didn't like this podcast, make sure to do all of the things, like hitting the like button and hitting the subscribe button and ring-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling and dinging that bell. I don't know where I was going with that. At the XofPlays on YouTube, or giving a high rating on whatever podcast service you use so you can find like-minded people. Be sure to tell people about the show. Word of mouth is the best way to help us grow. And I brought it up before, but on patreon.com/thebriefingroom, you can financially support the show and get cool rewards as well. That's all from us. Take care.